TheFactFreak, and welcome to another awareness post. Now, as you all know by now, an awareness post drops every week on a Wednesday after 8 p.m. UK time. Get here and you'll see what you need to be aware of. And this is an absolute wrong'un. As you can see, it is somebody on TikTok called Mitch Thomas. However, that is not their actual name, and like most people who change their names when they come onto social media, it's to hide how much of a wrong'un they actually are. So of course, these are the kind of videos that you'll find over on Mitch's TikTok, where he goes for what's called the weekly rankings, where he basically tries to get as much money from his followers as possible to get him up a leaderboard of who can take the most money from their followers. Whoop-de-doo. We call them the weekly wankers. Now, we really have to look at the news articles about him and why he's obviously decided to change his name. Well, if you Google his actual name, Mitchell Corner, you will find a lot of news articles about the horrendous stuff he did that made him obviously want to try and hide. Now, he was in a Take That tribute band performing as the part of Gary Barlow. However, they got rid of him once they found out he stalked his ex-girlfriend and actually threatened to unalive himself after she dumped him and was handed a 2-year restraining order for this. Now, he met the woman through an online dating app in that February and went on several dates before she decided she was not interested. But of course, that wouldn't be enough for him. The court heard over the course of 3 days in February, that's a 3-day trial full of evidence, that he had made various Instagram and Facebook profiles to connect to the woman, who by this stage had already blocked him on his usual accounts. Now, it was this point when he changed tack, leaving her voice messages saying that he would unalive himself if he did not answer her messages. It was a guilt trip to try and get her to sleep with him, the court heard. Now, he actually visited the victim at her home on the February 23rd and also tried to find her at her workplace. He asked to come in and she repeatedly asked him to leave, which he eventually did after 20 minutes of being asked to do so. She went to work, and when she got there, her colleague said a man had been there asking if she was working. When they showed her the CCTV, to her horror, it was him. Now, 7 months later, at the time of the article, Connor appeared in court and he pled guilty to the single charge of stalking. Now, this is something that he's saying the newspapers, they don't always tell the truth. They're sensationalising it because you're a Gary Barlow impersonator. One of the worst excuses I've ever heard. But he went on to say that he does accept this was harassment to the lady concerned, but it was only over 3 days. I mean, to be fair, that concerns me more. And it would have been better to have resolved matters face to face. It came to his surprise when the police wanted to talk to him in July of this year. I mean, that just shows that he had no idea that he'd crossed an unacceptable boundary in the way that he pursued this woman after this lady had basically tried to get rid of. That is a dangerous, dangerous way to go. For the rest of this awareness post, I'm going to show you a couple of videos I did over on TikTok to raise awareness. That obviously he made all these comments as well that I will show you. As usual, you know what to do with these awareness posts. Get them out there, share them on other forms of social media, hit that like button, and please let him know what you think of him in the comments. Peace. Hey guys, it's the Fact Freak, and look, it's a weekly one of them. And would you believe that they are a wrong'un? Oh yes, this is him here, impersonator in a Take That tribute band who stalked. Yep, here we go. I mean, this is absolutely horrific. Plenty of news articles about this. And yeah, as usual, people on here just sending the money their way. Wow. Please do what you can to get this video out there so everyone sees what kind of person we're dealing with. Yeah, so let's have a look at the comments section in that video. Now there is what looks like a blank profile trying to defend this guy. I assume it's just the guy on another profile talking. But anyway, how many people has TheFactFreak blocked because they said worse? One person in this comment section, it was a woman who was enabling the behaviour of this wronging. And I was just a bit sickened by another woman supporting somebody who had stalked another woman. But whatever. He's doing it for views. Exactly the way newspapers work. Yes, you are bang on. I want views. I want as many people as possible to see this video, videos on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, to show as many people as possible who you actually are and what you actually are, because that's the way awareness works. Dum-dum. Isn't it weird that that is the argument that is used quite a lot when they leave victims behind themselves? Not that it was untrue, even though you've been desperately trying to tell everybody in me comment section that. I mean, let's have a look a little bit more into it, shall we? You actually threatened to do that after she dumped you, and you were handed a 2-year restraining order. Yeah, they just give them out, don't they, for just anybody. I mean, a guilt trip like that to try and... wow. But of course there's a lot more information here, isn't there? And he does accept it was harassment. But now, shock horror, he changes the script. I know exactly what I think of you. And I'm sure a lot of other people do now as well.